They may not be entitled to any, depending on subjects. Sometimes adjustment factors are given to regional students as well, so perhaps if there are any boarders in the room, that could be something that you can ask questions about afterwards. Okay, so there are many pathways to university. The first one that I'm going to speak about is the ATAR pathway. So there are 4 boxes that we like university students to tick when they come in. So first of all, students need their West Australian Certificate of Education, so successfully graduating from school, so that's really important. Next of all, English language competency is really important. So for our ATAR students who are doing ATAR English, ATAR English literature, or English as an additional language or dialect, generally we look for 50% or above. For some universities, general English might be sufficient, so that's why it is really important to ask each of us to make sure that you're quite clear on the English requirements. Then you've got the selection rank that you need for particular courses, so that's a really important one to know. And then last of all, any prerequisites. So that's any subjects that a student requires to be able to hit the ground running when they come into a particular course. So generally you'll see prerequisites in areas like, say for example, a course like engineering, where you'll need your high maths and your sciences. Some universities don't have prerequisites at all. They simply have recommended subjects, so it's not essential to have particular subjects before they get started. So again, I can reinforce that message that it's really important to talk to all of the universities that you're interested in today afterwards and ask those questions. Alright, so for those students that are on the VET pathway, this is a pathway to university too. So the same goes for the West Australian Certificate of Education, also for English. When it comes to VET qualifications, a Certificate 4 will often be a pathway to university. So again, worth asking the universities individually whether that will qualify you. I understand that actually a lot of the students here undertake a Certificate 4 in business. So if that's what you are undertaking, definitely ask us some questions around what will be your pathway. Can you come straight to university, or perhaps you might need to go to TAFE first to undertake a diploma and use that as a pathway. So definitely ask those questions. And again, looking at the prerequisites, if there are any, for the courses that you want to get into. Alright, there are a whole host of other ways to get into university as well. So when we say higher education study, for those of you that are doing general studies or who are undertaking certificate studies that are under a Certificate 4 level, then you might want to consider an enabling program, is what we call them now, or otherwise you might know them to be called preparation programs. So the universities run these and they can be a really fantastic stepping stone from school to university. So worth asking questions about those. Then we've got vocational education and training. So students may decide that they don't want to come to university straight from school, and you might pursue further studies at TAFE. And even that can act as a pathway that then leads into university if you do want to continue your studies at a tertiary level. Work and life experience. So for students, once you get to 20 years and above, at university you're considered mature age at that point. And then a whole heap of other pathways become available too. And one that you might know of is a special tertiary admissions test that can be used as a pathway when you're 20 years or older to get into university. And then last of all of the universities have what we call special consideration. So if anything happens for the boys this year that throw them completely off track, and where they were sort of set to achieve is disadvantaged for some kind of reason, so whether it's a bereavement or an illness, please do talk to the universities individually, and we can look at special consideration and look at results from Year 11 and earlier in Year 12 as well. But again, please do speak to us afterwards. Alright, so accommodation. I'm not sure if there are any boarders in the room or parents of boarders, but here we're live streaming. So all of the universities have on-campus accommodation options, and I guess even for those of you that do live in Perth, some people do like that experience, and they're kind of excited to be living on campus. And it is really convenient, obviously, to be able to walk across to your classes. So all of the universities have on-campus accommodation. They're all slightly different styles. So Curtin, ECU and Murdoch tend to have more apartment-style living. So in looking at the photos, it's the top right, I think. That's kind of your more apartment style. So you have the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedrooms all within one. And then the University of Notre Dame and the University of Western Australia tend to have what we call college-style accommodation, where sometimes they'll have like a big shared sort of mess, and sometimes you can have meals included as part of that accommodation package. When it comes to accommodation, you don't need to have an offer from a university to apply for accommodation, and you can apply to multiple accommodation across different universities that you're applying for. And then once you get your offer and you decide to accept it, then you just decline the other applications that you've made. So that's very common practice, and a question that we get a lot sometimes, that people think they have to hold back before they get their offer from a university before they then look at accommodation options, but you can do that beforehand and just apply at all the universities that you're contemplating going to. All of the universities have some kind of housing services as well, so there is support there if you do want some advice when it comes to housing. Okay, so support and fees. I guess what's important to say here is that there are whole teams at each of the universities that are created to help students feel supported and to help them with that transition from high school to university. There's programs like student mentor programs as well, and there's extra tuition provided sometimes for particularly difficult units. So that support is definitely out there for students. What we do say though is, of course, uni is an adult learning environment, and students just need to seek it out, but it is certainly there. Also, career guidance is there, and I think we probably all feel the same way, in that a lot of students tend to access this help really late and not from the beginning, and that's always a shame, because if you access help from the careers team early, they can help with things like work experience and volunteering opportunities, which all help in making your student more competitive. So I definitely encourage the boys to look into this early when they get started with uni. Counselling and health services too, all of the universities have this. When it comes to scholarships, it's amazing how many scholarships are actually out there, and they're not just for academic excellence. Sometimes they're related to a particular course, sometimes it's for regional students or for Indigenous students, so it's worth everyone having a look at scholarships, and that's something you can do now if you want to start seeing what's out there. And then when it comes to fees, unfortunately university does cost money in Australia. So for Australian citizens and permanent residents, fees are subsidised by some amount by the Australian government. For Australian citizens, they get to defer their payment until they earn a certain amount per year. For permanent residents, you are required to pay up front, but you do have that subsidised amount. But again, any questions about that, please feel free to ask us afterwards. Okay, so planning for the year ahead. I thought I would just flag a few things here with you. So July and August is when all the universities run open days. So an open day is basically when we open our doors to our universities, and it's a chance for you to explore and to get a feel for what the university campuses are like. And I'm sure some of you have gone to university, the parents, and perhaps the students, you've already experienced days on the campuses already, but we all have sort of a unique, I guess, personality, and there's a unique feel to every university, and that will align or not align to particular students. So it's really important to actually go and see what it's like at a university. In September is when the TISC and the Notre Dame applications, we encourage you to get them in by then, so by the end of September, the 29th of September. You can apply after that to university, but after the 29th you will incur a late late fee that gets charged by what's called the Tertiary Institution Service Centre. So it's best to apply before the end of September. Then in October, students are preparing for their exams, and obviously their exams take place in November. December is when the final school results come out, and when students, if they are on the ATAR pathway, will find out what their ATAR is. And then the December offers come out from the universities. There's a second round of offers too. They come out in January, and then it's all systems go from there. So same for Notre Dame, their offers come out in January too. And then in February, orientation happens, so that's an introduction to university for everyone, and classes start. And I thought I would mention as well that if, talking to the students in the room, if you do feel a bit nervous and you don't know what you're going to decide to do, all universities have what's called a census date. Generally, and make sure you double check this, but it's at the end of week 4 of your semester. And if you decide in that time, oh, I've really chosen the wrong thing and I think I need to change my mind and not be in this course, that's okay. You can withdraw without financial penalty within those first 4 weeks. So as long as you're doing that before the census date, then you won't have to pay for those particular units. So there is a bit of time, bit of wriggle room if you do decide to change your mind. And I do want to stress that that is probably more common than anyone realises. Not everyone gets it right the first time round choosing what you want to do. And there's opportunity to change your mind if it means that you get to transfer to something that you're going to enjoy more. Alright, so these are the dates of all the university open days. So they start up at the end of July and run through to the end of August. So you can see a few people taking photos. It's probably quite an important one. If you miss it though, we can all tell you the dates of our particular open days. And as you can see for some of us, there are multiple campuses, so we run multiple open days in some instances. So as I said, open day, perfect way to see the facilities, to talk to staff, to talk to current students as well, and there's a real festival-like vibe generally at all of the open days, and lots of freebies and food and all that kind of thing, so it's a really good way to experience each of the universities. Alright, that's it from me in terms of covering off some of the general information about university. It is only 15 minutes, so it's been pretty brief, but hopefully it's answered some of your questions. And yeah, you will have the opportunity afterwards to ask us all questions individually. Now what's going to happen is each of the uni representatives at the front here, we're going to talk for 2 minutes, or 2 to 3 minutes about our universities. You'll have to forgive us, we probably don't talk this fast generally. There's a lot of information to convey in such a short period of time, so it'll be a little bit like fast forward, but hopefully it's useful to you. First of all, I'm going to introduce Laura. She's from Curtin University to get us started.
Oh, I feel so tall for the first time in my life. So Curtin University, just a little bit more height. Curtin University is the largest university in Western Australia in terms of population size, so we are quite big. And we are ranked in the top 1% of universities worldwide, with global campuses, quite a few overseas, and several within WA and in Perth City as well, actually. We have quite a few different pathways to enter into Curtin University. So as Sam went through some of the pathways before, our most direct pathway is the ATAR pathway. We also accept a Certificate 4. So for any students in the room that are doing a Certificate 4, if you're doing ATAR English or an equivalence to ATAR English, we can use a Certificate 4 for admission into quite a number of our courses. We also accept a diploma from, say, a registered training organisation such as TAFE or Curtin College. UniReady is the name of the enabling course that we have. As Sam mentioned, we all have different types of enabling courses. We have a portfolio pathway available for select courses, which is useful for those students that aren't doing the ATAR pathway, and let's say they want to get into visual arts. You might be able to provide us with a visual arts portfolio to support your application, and you can use that as admission potentially to gain entry. We have a huge number of courses, and the best thing to do is to grab our brochures at the back right-hand corner of the room. We have courses specifically for Aboriginal students, which is run through CAS, the Centre for Aboriginal Studies, and health sciences, science and engineering, humanities, and business law. What I'll just do is cover 2 specific courses for today. So we've got our Curtin Medical School. Our med school is still relatively new, and we're the only university in WA that offers medicine at an undergraduate level. This course is 5 years minimum ATAR of 95. There are a few extra boxes that you have to tick for admission, including applying to do the UCAT test. So if you have any questions about med, you can come and have a chat to us at the back. Our law program is also quite unique because it's the only undergraduate law program in WA that you can fast track and complete in 3 years, and that's based in the Perth CBD location. A couple of short stories. So Josh was one of our physics and psychology students, and although he studied physics and psychology, he's gone on to do some great things. He's become a comedian, an author, keynote speaker, a physicist, and he's also been selected in the top 100 candidates to go on a one-way trip to Mars to see if life is sustainable. You can learn more about him on his website. Brendan is another fantastic graduate of ours. He was a multimedia design student. He's doing all the special effects and design and production for lots of different Marvel films in particular, so films like Ant-Man, for example. We've got a fantastic partnership with NASA as well, where we see 2 engineering students each year go and do an internship, and that provides the students with opportunities to work on real-life projects and things that could be used to help NASA on future expeditions to Mars. I think I might leave it there. I'll leave it on the scholarship slide for you to have a look at some of the scholarships available while we've got our next presenter coming up, which, do you know who it is yet? Is coming up next soon. When do we get to it? ECU. We've got Dan coming up now to talk about ECU. Thanks, Dan.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniel from Edith Cowan University. So Edith Cowan University, it's quite a young university and a modern university. So we have lots of world-class facilities. Clicker right here. We offer over 300 courses at ECU. So some of those are structured courses where we've mapped everything out. An example is engineering. So if you start a civil engineering course, all your units are planned for you, and as well as nursing, paramedicine, etc. We also offer flexible courses. And these are courses where there's a degree of flexibility, such as a Bachelor of Commerce, where you can study finance and banking, if you want to throw some social media and analytics in real time. I am a graduate of ECU, so I studied computer science and Japanese, and through my studies I was able to work in Australia, in the UK, as well as Japan, and then I've returned back to Perth. There we go. We're the largest provider of study tours out of all the universities. So a study tour is where you get to spend 2 or 3 weeks overseas. You will receive credits towards your studies. So we've got some examples here. We've got fashion students in Hollywood. We've got science students in China. A couple more in Nepal and Indonesia. A fantastic one that's coming up this year is the School of Engineering. We're taking them to Tokyo where they'll get to experience hands-on in industry and how things go in Tokyo. As you know, it's quite the earthquake zone, lots of natural disasters there, and we feel it would be really beneficial for the students to gain that practical experience. It's done usually over the summer and winter, so it doesn't interfere with your regular studies. As I mentioned, you will get credits towards your degree. A couple of examples. We've got on the left, Jerome Davenport. He was a regional boy. He liked a bit of direction. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do. He ended up studying props and scenery at WAPA, so that's the West Australian Academy of Performing Arts at ECU. And now he is an aerosol artist. He's commissioned all over the world. These are a couple of murals that he's done at ECU, and you'll see his works up and down regional WA, and now he's based out of Canada and the UK. That's where he spends most of his time. On the right-hand side, we have Tristan, one of our paramedical science graduates. design, etc. Joondalup with all the business, the science, the teacher education, and then in the southwest we've got some support services, engineering, nursing, social work. We offer lots of admission pathways at ECU. So there's lots of admission pathways, vet pathways, portfolio entry or the experience-based entry scheme, as well as our university preparation course or UniPrep, that's our enabling program. So it's a 6-month full-time course and it's free, and it really sets you up for success when you enter your bachelor degrees. So that's available for ATAR students, and those people who are not on the ATAR pathway, I really recommend it. That's my 2 minutes. I'll hand you across back to Sam from Murdoch.
So I work in the Future Students team at Murdoch. I'm also a student there, a postgraduate student. So I mentioned before that I studied business as my first degree. I'm now studying towards a master's in counselling. Alrighty, so I wanted to show you some of the facilities that we have on campus. And coming along to our open day on July 28th will be a good opportunity to see more of these. So first of all, you're seeing the chiropractic science clinic. So we're the only uni in the state to offer chiro. It's a 5-year degree. Actually, it's 2 degrees. It's a 5-year qualification, but it's made up of a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Chiropractic Science. And I was just speaking to one of the parents earlier and saying that I found out recently from one of the lecturers that on average, a chiro works 3.5 days per week. So pretty fantastic in terms of work-life balance. Down the bottom, it's not ticking over anymore, but we have some facilities in the creative media space. So for students that are interested in photography, sound, screen production, theatre and drama, areas like that. There are a whole heap of facilities, so TV and radio studios. We've got 2 theatres on campus as well. Interestingly, 2 of our sound graduates won Oscars for the work that they did on movies Mad Max and Hacksaw Ridge, so really fantastic in that creative space. And then also you see the animals up there too. So I think obviously Murdoch is very well known for veterinary science, so we're the only university in the state to offer vet. We're the only metropolitan university in the country to have a farm on our campus as well. We have 2 other farms off campus. There are also opportunities to study things like conservation and wildlife biology, and also crop and pasture science, so a lot in that kind of animal and environmental space. Something unique about Murdoch, we have an exclusive partnership with the RAC Arena, so formerly known as the Perth Arena, and we have an awesome internship program that runs through there. And a really good example that's come from that student pictured there in the red shirt, his name is Dan. He is a sound student and is now a sound engineer at the RAC Arena as a result of that internship program. It's pretty cool. And last of all, I'll finish on this note. At the end of last year, we were told that we were the #1 university for undergraduate employment after 3 years, and that's looking at the whole country, so within Australia. So in terms of obviously degrees leading into roles and being able to stay in a particular career, Murdoch have proven that we're really strong there. And we have a fantastic career program that's embedded to all of our degrees from year 1. But yeah, come and have a chat to me afterwards. I'm joined by one of our current students. She's studying primary education. She's also studied in conservation too. Her name is Alana, so we'd love to talk to you. Thank you. All right, next up, Michael from the University of Notre Dame.
Evening everyone, so my name's Michael and I'm from the University of Notre Dame. I'm also a graduate of Notre Dame as well. I studied philosophy while I was there, and I bring this up because Notre Dame is a part of that grand liberal arts tradition, and how that expresses itself for our students is everybody, no matter what they study at Notre Dame, undertakes study of philosophy, ethics and theology. Now the reason that we do this is to give our students a good grounding in critical thinking skills and help them undertake the practice of observing other people's views, ideas, but ultimately analysing that, internalising it, and figuring out what is it that they think, what is it that they believe, so they can use that as they go forward professionally. Now, a strong community and care is important to us as a Catholic university. You don't need to be Catholic to attend Notre Dame or of any particular faith background at all, and we provide support to all of our students through support services, small class sizes, and lecturers and tutors that do get to know you over the course of your studies. We can do this because we're the smallest university in WA, and we're deliberately like that so that our students don't get lost in and amongst the crowds. Now, another thing that sets us apart is that we are a town university, so we're located in Freo's historic West End, which means students that study with us can take advantage of all the different things that Fremantle has to offer, from public spaces like Esplanade Park and Bathers Beach to cafes and eateries, local Fremantle events and theatres and various things that are on offer. So it provides a really unique lifestyle being a student with us. Now, while we're the smallest university in WA, we do have 9 different schools at the university that offer degrees in a wide range of subjects. Some of these are very focused, like physiotherapy and medicine and law. Others are a lot broader, like our School of Arts and Sciences, Health Sciences, as well as business. So I've got a heap of course guides here with me, so I'd encourage you to come and grab some that maybe spark your interest after the presentation. Now, a strong thread that goes throughout a lot of our programs is a focus on practical experience for our students. We really like to get them out there in industry so that they can put their skills to the test, put their theory from the classroom to the test, and also learn from industry professionals to find out what works, what doesn't work, in order to really help get them job ready. So if any of that are things that you found interesting, please feel free to come and talk to me afterwards. I always love talking about Notre Dame to anyone, so yeah, feel free to come and have a chat, and I'll pass over to our last presenter from UWA.
Hi everyone, my name is Dilkash. I'm from the University of Western Australia. So UWA is the first university that opened up in Western Australia, hence our name. We are a top 100 university where our professors and our teachers are research-led, which what that means for your students is they're learning from the best and those that are actually contributing to not only research but the practical aspects of work that's currently happening in industries. At UWA, we like to categorise our different specialisations within these particular degrees. So entry into our top 4 bachelor degrees, so Bachelor of Arts, Commerce, Science and Biomedical Science is an ATAR of 80, and then we do also have a Bachelor of Philosophy, which has that higher ATAR of 98. This Bachelor of Philosophy is a 4-year degree, where students do a 4th honours year, which really expands on their knowledge of whichever area they're interested in. So within all our different bachelor degrees, we have your majors, which are the specialisations, and we have over 75 different majors within the different degrees altogether, and we actually allow students to combine any 2 majors that they want within their within their 3-year bachelor degree, or that 4 years of the Bachelor of Philosophy. So there are a lot of benefits to this particular UWA course model that we do have. It allows students to explore their different passions regardless of which area they come from. So a student can study both Korean studies and medical sciences at the same time before they start maybe their postgraduate in medicine degree as well. It also allows students to change different majors in their bachelor degrees after their first year without extending the time of their degree, and also really saving them money at the end of the day as well, which is, I know, a big concern as well. Even if it is, postponed on HECS or Commonwealth supported places, you still see that money coming out of your bank one day. We also have another really great initiative for our students. It's the Careers and Employability Award, which is a non-academic transcript that we like to provide our students with at the end of their degree. What this award does is it actually showcases what students do at university outside of their academics. So whether it's work placements in relation to their degrees, whether it's something extracurricular, where they might come out to schools and speak to students about their stories. I'm quite fortunate here with me today. I've got a Hale graduate who's also been a recipient of our Winthrop Leaders Scholarship as well. So we have a lot of different new scholarships that have come out this year. So please do come and talk to me at the end if you're looking at any of the different scholarships that we have, the new scholarships, and do come and talk to our current UWA students who's also a Hale graduate. I would like to also emphasise on some of the new events that we really have coming up this year. So days in the life of a uni student at UWA, we have one for year 9s as well as one for year 10s and 11s, which will really help students get immersed into what university life is like. We understand at 17 you don't know exactly what you want to do, whether you're in year 10 or year 12, it is hard to make that decision. So having exposure on university, I would highly recommend that, and also Open Day is a great way to just meet all current students, professors, get that information from that one day. So it is on 4th of August, which is a Sunday. It's the best day to visit a university, so I do highly recommend that. And I think that's my few minutes here, so do come and have a chat with me if you do have any questions about courses or anything. And we're all here to have a chat at the end as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, universities. That was fantastic. A lot of information covered there. Parents, this is just a little one for you. I'm not too sure how many 11s and 12s are in the room. I'm assuming the most. Basically what happens in the careers office throughout year 11 and 12 is every boy will have an appointment with me each semester. So there'll be 2 opportunities per year, year 11 and year 12, amongst any other times that they want to come in and ask any questions. Most of those opportunities revolve around looking at where they're sort of currently sitting from a projected ATAR perspective, what subjects and courses they might be interested in, and how we can best transition you into your post-school opportunities. I think most importantly, when you're talking to the different universities, fellas, it's got to be about what is the best fit for you. It really is important that you transition from school into an opportunity that's going to give you, or at best advantage you, okay? Just for the parents as well, TISC will cover off that basically from the start of term 3. TISC generally opens at the sort of the first week in August, closes on the 29th of September. There will be opportunities. I'm going to run a few evenings where the boys can come in. Boarders already get this experience. Day boys can have this experience this year where if you want to get it all done and dusted, fellas, you'll rock up, we'll sit there, we'll do it. Mum and Dad will pop out the credit cards and you'll pay your $35 and it's done. What you really don't want to do, and I don't think there's about one boy last year, you don't want to leave it till after that 29th of September where you incur the extra $140 or $150 fee. I think the other thing too is there's often a lot of pressure around that TISC preferences. It's not something to be worried about. There's plenty of support at the school from me, from Mr Hill, from Mr Bain, amongst other teachers. And as long as you get it submitted, you do have plenty of opportunity to change everything around, okay? And the last thing I'd like to stress is please take the time to engage with the universities yourself. There's a couple of great things that universities do, and I don't necessarily think you promote this enough, guys, is all their handbooks are pretty much online. So if you go to on one university's webpage, you can go to study plans. On another university's webpage, you click on the right of the webpage and it comes up and you can click on handbook. Boys, you can basically figure out every unit that you're going to study, who your lecturer is going to be, email the lecturer, phone the lecturer, and figure it all out before you get there. I strongly encourage that you do that. You are then showing that you are being proactive. Finally, you do a lot of co-curricular stuff at Hale School, whether it's the sport, arts, etc. Please make sure that you continue to do that when you leave school. I think there's a tendency for young blokes to take the foot off the accelerator, so to speak. You really have a great opportunity to get a good education at any of these institutions, but more so still engage in community services, clubs and societies. And that's not just at the university, but also at your community level. All right? These are the things that are going to make you look different when it's time to get a job at the end of your degree. Thank you very much for turning out. I'll let the university peeps head back down to their little stalls, and please feel free to chat to them, and I'll be floating around the back to have a yarn as well. Thank you very much.